As I got another rhyme, another rhythm for y'all to listen. I'm never quitting on my mission, I'ma roll with what I'm giving. Got some ambition, this new edition, filling positions. Looking at the void in myself and feeling what's missing. Better watch the way you going, better go in the right direction. In the moment you stressing, but you gon' be counting blessings. And I know that for certain, keep on working, open curtains. Haters swerving, cause they ain't ready for your final version. Whoa. I'm never gonna give up, fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah.
You're listening to the Tom Ficklin Show on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Good morning, New Haven, Connecticut. Good morning, Connecticut. We are here this morning. This is Sean Hardy stepping in for my good friend, Mr. Tom Ficklin. 103.5 FM WNHH Community Radio. We are excited to be out here this morning. Happy Monday to everybody. I am zooming in from Soul de Cuba Restaurant Cafe, downtown New Haven, 283 Crown Street in the city of New Haven. And we're excited about being here this morning with my longtime friend, Mr. Jesus Puerto, who is the CEO and founder of Soul de Cuba, and they're in the midst of celebrating their 20th anniversary being downtown New Haven. Hello, New Haven. It's an honor to be with him today, to talk with him. I'm glad that Tom Ficklin allowed me to step in his spot, as always, and I'm appreciative and I'm humble. Soul de Cuba has been going on for 20 years. We have Dr. Jonathan Berryman, my BFF, assistant principal of Hill House High School. I believe we have Mike, who's the assistant director of Soul de Cuba as well. Some other ones out there, community leaders, locally and statewide. Good morning, Mr. Jesus Puerto. Happy 20th anniversary. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Sean Hardy. It's so good to see you and to be here with you this morning and with everyone. And as we prepare for our 20th anniversary. 20 years ago, September 2004, I signed the lease to open this location here on the corner of Crown and High Street, 283 Crown Street, in downtown New Haven. And by January the 5th, we opened the doors.
Wow. By January the 5th, opened the door to this fabulous restaurant downtown. What in the world was you thinking about, Mr. Puerto, when you wanted to open up this beautiful place? Did you get a revelation from the higher power? Was it your ancestors? What motivated you to open up Soul de Cuba this morning? Tell us all about it.
Well, there was a vision I had in the late 80s, early 90s to open a little sandwich shop in my hometown in Ybor City, Florida. Ybor City is the old historic district of Tampa, where the cigar industry first really developed in the United States. And my ancestors on my father's side had come over from Cuba. They were the first wave of Cubans to come to work in Tampa in the 1880s, 1890s, and worked in cigar factories. They were all cigar artisans, and my great-grandfather, who is right here above me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this in the top. He was actually a baker. He baked a real original Cuban bread. So I had this vision to open a sandwich shop there, but then life threw me, as it does all of us, a curveball. And I had come down with an illness that almost took my life. It happened very suddenly. I was given a few hours to live. And that took place in the early 90s. It shifted my perspective, and my awareness was broadened about what life should be for me. And I started down a journey to investigate the truth of happiness and joy. And I ended up joining the Peace Corps, and the Peace Corps sent me to the South Pacific and Samoa. And that led me into doing international work beyond the Corps. And eventually brought me to Connecticut by invitation of an organization called Hole in the Wall Camps. It was an organization that was started by Paul Newman in the 80s, and children living with life-threatening illnesses. And from that job had me based in New Haven, and yet I was doing work all over the planet, in Thailand and South Africa, Southern Africa, even in Japan. One day I saw this space become available here on the corner of Crown and High Street, and the stars sort of aligned and said, "Hey, are you ever do this? Is this really? Are you really? Were you really serious about doing this one day?" And I said, "Yeah, you know, I'm going for it." And I cashed in everything. I called friends and family. And I said, whoever wants to jump in here with me, and I was so grateful. My brother did. My brother Robert, he came on up. A little while later, I met Michael Yamele, and Michael jumped in within the first few weeks that we had opened, and learned how to co-manage the space with me. And but you know, that was January 2005, and you know, here 20 years later, my brother and Michael are still by my side. My brother is managing the recently opened location in Tampa, Florida, that we just opened 6 months ago. And Mike and I still work together in our food product company. So we have traditional Cuban sauces, that's a mojo sauce, salad dressings, and we're planning to expand that product line all around the world.
Lord, you have given New Haven, Connecticut, you have given Connecticut something today. I'm just so excited to be with you this morning. We are downtown New Haven. We are zoomed in to Soda Cuba 20th anniversary. If you don't know anything about Soda Cuba, maybe by this time afterwards, you will know where Soda Cuba is. Come on downtown today. We are open today. Happy hour starts at 4 o'clock, I believe, every day, 4 to 7. I believe it's even going to be starting on the weekend this coming Saturday as we celebrate the Black Wall Festival. We're just excited about what's taking place, the vision that you had encountered 20 years ago. What a blessing. Now, I would like to know, Dr. Jonathan Berryman, Assistant Principal of Hill House, good morning to you. And what do you love about Soda Cuba? Lord knows you love your Soda Cuba. So you tell us your insight, your vision. How do you feel about it? Where it is now, and where would you like to see it go? Come on with it, Dr. Good morning, New Haven, Dr. Jonathan Berryman.
Well, certainly the food is delicious. I love to eat good food, and Soda Cuba is one of those places in New Haven where I can do that. I never liked black beans until I started eating Soda Cuba's black beans. I never thought about eating oxtails until I had Soda Cuba's oxtails. I wasn't crazy about the Cubano sandwich because I'd had it other places. I wasn't wild until I became addicted to the Cubano sandwich at Soda Cuba, and I had a better understanding of what that sandwich could be and is supposed to be. So Soda Cuba, you know, the food there is phenomenal. The hospitality is wonderful. The drinks are special. So, you know, there's a lot going on inside that restaurant. But I want to talk about product as well. Product lines has actually made me enjoy my own cooking. The mojo that Soda Cuba has transformed my ability to make my food into making it very palatable. So I appreciate Soda Cuba, the restaurant, and Soda Cuba product line. If you have not tried either of them, I suggest you try both. If you're looking for something to really make your food pop that you cook at home, or even using the mojo as a dipping sauce, you have not had anything until you tried the product line. So needless to say, I'm a fan.
Well, all right. We heard it from Dr. Berryman. I love myself now. Let me tell you the truth. I never was an oxtail person until I started hanging out downtown at Soda Cuba. And I have relatives who are outstanding cooks. I was just never into oxtails. I don't know why, but I have a different testimony today. I can say Soda Cuba oxtails are just absolutely fabulous. And you know what's even better, New Haven? You know what's even better, Connecticut? I'm going to get me some oxtail today. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to be downtown next door to Geronimo's across from the Milk Crab, 283 Crown Street, New Haven. So you might as well just get yourselves together and come join me, Sean Hardy, zoomed in, tuned in, stepping in for Tom Ficklin morning show. And I'm so excited about being here. 20 years is a long time. The higher power, God is good, and we are grateful for what he has done, for what he's doing, and for what he's going to do. I think I saw my friend and family, Dr. Willie E. McKay from Shelton, Connecticut. Good morning, Dr. McKay. How are you? What is your insight on Soda Cuba?
Oh, there we go. Let me unmute. Okay. So what I will tell you is that you introduced me to the Soul Cuba restaurant. Many times I've gone downtown and I've driven by the restaurant, but I never actually went into the restaurant. And I was surprised that on last night, he said it was 20 years, 20 years that he was celebrating being in the city of New Haven. And I thought that was a great accomplishment. I love the fact that he has his own product line of sauces that he makes available for us to purchase and to use in our own cooking at home, that are of his own ingredients and from his background and from his life, from his life growing up and things that he has put into and those ingredients. But most importantly, I enjoy when I go eating there, I enjoy the happy hour, obviously. That's from 3 to 7. And so if you have not been to Soda Cuba for happy hour, make sure you make your way down to Soda Cuba for happy hour from 3 to 7, and make sure that you get yourself some of that pork belly. That pork belly is good to me. And when they bring that piece of pork belly out and you cut that thing up and you enjoy that taste and that savory flavor. And I really enjoy eating the pork belly. I don't get as much of the that Hardy gets. What did you just say it was, Hardy?
Oxtails.
Yeah, the oxtails. I don't really get a lot of the oxtails, but I do enjoy the pork belly, and I love Fritas. The yuca fries. The yuca fries are amazing. I recently started eating those, and trying to replace eating regular French fries, and I feel like that's a more healthy option, and those taste amazing as well. And of course, the chicken and rice. You definitely got to try that chicken and rice that they have. And I and he's always thinking of new and exciting dishes to present and new exciting things for us to taste and try out, so that he can even have some more ideas to bring into the restaurant. So the restaurant is definitely growing. It's continuing to evolve, and I recommend that everyone make their way down to New Haven and try out Soda Cuba's restaurant, because we enjoy eating their food in the restaurant and at home.
So, Dr. McKay, thank you. And being such a prestigious leader that you are locally and statewide, you accomplished so many things. You've done so many activities. You coordinated so many spectacular events over the course of the years. And because you are a realist, what are some of your ideas that we can do for Soda Cuba to promote the community even more, so they can get to know more about Soda Cuba? Because sometimes I talk to people, they don't even know about Soda Cuba until they pass it. They didn't realize I passed Soda Cuba. I didn't know Soda Cuba was right there. So what do you think? What are some of your ideas to suggest of keeping this live in the community going?
Well, let's work on getting a Soda Cuba truck that we can drive around the neighborhood with some food on it and let people buy the food right off that truck. That's a great idea, to put some of that good soul food, Cuban soul food on a truck, so that at the whole all the neighborhoods can get access to the food. So that's something we could definitely work on. I think it'd be a great idea for marketing and to bring in more revenue for the business as well, and give more people that flavor and that taste, and get into our community.
I like that, Dr. McKay. Thank you. I knew you had something awesome to say this morning. I figured I would just go ahead and ask the question. We are live. We are zoomed in. We are stepping in for Tom Ficklin, 103.5 FM dial radio station WNHH, New Haven, Connecticut. We are here. Happy 20th anniversary to Jesus Spiritual and Soul to Cuba downtown. We are here. Is my friend Mike online? The assistant CEO, is he here?
I'm here, Mr. Hardy. How you doing this morning?
And Mike, he is. You know what? I met these two particular gentlemen. It was a cold winter night in New Haven, and I was trying to cross the street to determine where shall I go? Where should I go? And I ran into these two distinguished men on the street. We was passing by. It was a cold winter night, and they said, my establishment is right in front of you. And I said, where? Stole the Cuba. I never paid it too much attention until after that night I met them. And it's been on and popping ever since. Good morning, Mike. Tell me something about Soul to Cuba. What do you love about it? Why are you so crazy about it? Where is it now as far as you can see? Where would you like for it to be? Mr. Mike.
Sure, man. Yeah, absolutely. You know, my family's has had a long time presence in New Haven. But when Sol de Cuba came along in 2005, 2004, I actually met Jesus, but 2005, when that restaurant opened and I first got to go in pre-opening, I really was not only impressed, but just like taken aback. I'd never seen anything like it. And I'll tell you why. The story that it tells, the pictures on the walls, the music that was selected and curated to give a specific experience. I just didn't know anything about Cuban culture, being Italian American, being in the New Haven community. There was nothing like it. I think we had a restaurant called Rumba. But it was more fusion. And that's kind of what everybody was doing. So I would say to people, don't miss out on really absorbing and taking in this beautifully and geniusly curated experience that Jesus has put together. So he takes the story of his family and puts it on the walls, but it really is a journey of over 20 years of him like going into his family's history, learning about who were these people in my past, where do I come from? And it's been a very emotional journey that I've gotten to be a part of, but also it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work that a lot of people in our community are interested in doing for themselves, and there's something to learn, I think, by going into Sol de Cuba. And if you can't talk with Jesus directly, at least walk around and kind of explore.
I like that. You are 100% accurate. And I'm telling you, I call myself an historian. My family thinks I am, certain parts of my relatives. And so I just love his photos. I always get excited when I see his photos because it put me in mind of my own immediate family, and particularly on my dad's side, my dad's maternal side. So it's always exciting in how he gets revelations concerning his ancestors to also, which enhances his spirit to go on. Maybe if he's feeling low, maybe he's feeling down. Sometimes you can always remember your ancestors. You can always look back and see what they did and how that encourages you and motivates your spirit to keep it moving. So I am grateful once again to be a part of this wonderful celebration of 20 years in New Haven, Connecticut. I believe it's the same spot, same location. Some people move around, some people change, but he's been in the same location since January 2025, which is 20 years, knocking on our door. And I salute him to the highest, and many more opportunities, whatever his desire is. I know that he's going to fulfill it. I know it's going to be manifest. It's going to come to pass for him. And so we're just grateful once again to be downtown New Haven. Is Mr. Daquan online this morning?
Hello, everyone. Hey, Mr. Hardy, I'm here.
Well, we meet again. Mr. Daquan is going to tell us what he feels about Soul de Cuba, our manager downtown New Haven, Connecticut. Good morning, Mr. Daquan.
Good morning. Yeah, so welcome, everybody. I'm the general manager, as Mr. Hardy stated, of Soul de Cuba Cafe. You guys did great, really describing what Soul de Cuba is and in regards of ambiance and as well as delicious food from the oxtail to the pork belly. And the Mike was touching on the music and just how everything is carefully selected. And I just want to talk about a little about my journey of pre-working at Soda Cubic Cafe because I always tell the customers I started off as a customer, you know. So when I first entered in the Soda Cubic Cafe, I would just happen to stumble into the neighborhood of New Haven because I'm not from originally out here, and I walked in, and one of the immediate things that I felt immediately, without even being in the restaurant 1 minute, was I felt welcome. Michael and Jesus were at a table discussing a topic, and when I came in, and I just came in, I was hungry. I wasn't familiar with Cuban cuisine. I wasn't familiar with Afro-Cuban cuisine. And they offered me to buy Cubano and things. And as I waited, Jesus, and just also to put in, I was going to school for business at Southern Connecticut. So I'm reading about like owners and culture at this time and how owner has a vision and how it's supposed to be brought to reality in the space that they encompass. So when I walk in there and as I'm waiting, Jesus approached me through communication and just very simply, hey, how's it going? And right there, I felt engaged to communicate more with Jesus. And then to even take it a step further, one of the things I was looking for was mentorship and understanding how business work, understanding how to build healthy relationships, understanding about how cultures and traditions and rights make up the environment that you're in, and and just being a little patient with understanding this information. And Jesus branched out and said, "Hey, I'm here. I'll be here this week at this time. Um, you can come on and stop by, and I'll be willing to answer some of your questions." And I actually came that week, and I met with Jesus and Mike, and they shared like so much information in regards of how the restaurant is just more than just making people happy through good food and good drinks, but it was about the experience and the diversity and how certain uh not only people but the food and the heritage and the origins of certain selected food and how it all is brought to life through a lineage of not only just trial and testing, but also through love and connection. So that was like something that was really big for me. And as I, continue to go as for the oxtails and the Cuban sandwich and the freak say that, I was a customer first, so it's real easy for me. And and then I got offered the opportunity. I was looking for a job and I was a little struggling financially. And then Jesus was like, "Hey, I could get you one for a few shifts and things. Talk to Mike." And and as I worked here, I didn't have restaurant skills. I had a speech problem. Sometimes I speak a little too fast, and these guys were patient with me. They didn't see me as just a worker. They see me as someone that could be developed, and they took the time and the extra hours to check in on me, to point out things of understanding about the history, a lot of their experiences in managing a restaurant, and I really enjoyed. Like it wasn't just a learning of a way of a career path. It was a authentic enjoyment of the learning process because the way they were teaching wasn't just from speaking; it was through action. So I seen how they treated the community. I seen how they were inviting. I seen how they like. I never seen someone and I'm talking about Jesus in this aspect. I never seen someone really take the time to get to know everyone who walks in the store when he's there. Reaching out, making sure everything is good, reaching out, seeing what they do, and sharing the history of his family
Mm-hmm.
and the program, as well as just the project of developing, through relationships. So that was one of the unique things that I liked before I even started working at the restaurant. So as I started working there, everything was great, man. I enjoyed meeting so many different people, hearing about seeing relationships that they talk about. Hey, in 2009, you know, I engage to my wife here, you know, and then they come back and see the space is still here. So it's just a great experience for the community, you know.
I like that. I thank you. And now, so tell us about what are some of the wonderful things that Soul Cuba has to offer. I know it's happy hour.
Yeah.
What do you usually what are some of the happy hour the menu?
Mhm.
What's going on this weekend? I know you're going to be starting us something soon. It's better if you tell it than I, because you can tell it better than I can. So give
Yeah.
us what's going on at Soul Cuba this week, next week. Enlighten us. Connecticut can know and New Haven can know. We had the Black Wall Festival coming up. We had the Puerto Festival this past weekend, which was a great success. We had a nice little gathering here at Soul Cuba on Saturday night, which was a blast. And so tell us what's going on.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tony. Yeah, so starting this week, every day of the week, we're starting happy hour at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that's all appetizers are 50% off. And there's selective drinks that's 50% off as well. Another cool and exciting thing we're doing this Friday, we're having a live DJ. So everyone could come on down. It begins at 10 p.m. and goes to 2 a.m. It's very uh, uh, a very great time to do it in between two celebrations between the Spanish heritage as well as the African American heritage, right in between those 2 weeks. So it's very exciting that we're able to engage in the community and you know, especially with this tough economy, just making things a little cheaper to allow people to come in and experience great food and drinks throughout the week. You know.
Community involvement is a plus. I'm very active in the community to some degree with the Board of Education, different community things. I'm grateful that we have a partnership with Soul at my school, Moral Sheridan. You're always coming by to read. And Dr. K and Dr. Berryman they always come by introducing the kids to the community so the kids can know what's going on. Because you have a lot of kids who be walking up and down these streets and they didn't know where they're walking to, the significance of these businesses downtown in New Haven. That enhances their life skills. The academic is a great plus, but they need to also, we need to also continue to enhance their life skills so they know how to get along socially and academically. So we're excited about what you're doing in the community. We want you to keep up the great work. We're here. We're out here, New Haven, Connecticut. John Hardy is zoomed in. Ficklin, 103.5 FM, WNHH Radio, Community Radio. We are here celebrating Soul to Cuba's 20th anniversary. I'm not for sure if anyone else is online. I really can't see from here. But if you are, please state who you are and say something in regards to Soul to Cuba's 20th anniversary. Okay, is Dr. Berryman still here? You still here, Dr. Berryman?
I'm still here.
All right, Dr. Berryman, I know that you have so many ideas like your friend, Dr. McKay, because y'all so busy doing such wonderful things locally and for the state. Give us some ideas on better to enhance so the Cuba for the community. Dr. Berryman.
Well, I think part of it is, you know, the community needs to come by. That your experience and my experience are probably similar, that I'd seen Soul to Cuba for years, right? And I knew it existed, I knew where it was, but I didn't know what it was. Right? And oftentimes there are places in New Haven that, you know, we don't know what we have here until somebody reveals it to us, right? So congratulations on 20 years, and I could kick myself for only being a part of it for the past 5. Because this is my 30th year in New Haven. And I said I knew Soul to Cuba existed, and probably like so many others, I grew up in the South, so we did not have a large Cuban influence. All right, so I couldn't even have told you what Cuban food was. Anyhow, when I'd gone to Miami a couple of times and they had, you know, versions of Cuban food. But outside of Miami, I had no real knowledge of what Cuban food could have been, or what it really was. And even after going to Miami, you know, it was a restaurant. It was one meal. It wasn't a whole experience, right? So I think that part of what you're doing right now, just making the community aware of what Cuban soul food is from the Tampa perspective, right? And certainly looking at, as an educator, one of the things that I pay attention to now is the intersectionality that people bring socially, right? So what does it mean to be Latino? What does it mean to be Black and Latino? What does it mean to, in this case, to be Black and Cuban? Because that is a unique experience. What does it mean to be Black and Cuban and growing up in Tampa? Right. So that whole experience, that the whole cultural piece, something that continues to fascinate me. And I think as many of us now are doing DNA research and finding cousins all over the world that we never knew we had, I think it's also important that people come in and experience now what it means, what the food means. Right. So I encourage people who have been walking by Sol de Cuba, driving by Sol de Cuba, you've been stopped at that stoplight looking at Milk Craft, the new construction in Sol de Cuba, to find somewhere to park one day and to make your way into Sol de Cuba. Right. I see a lot of people hanging out downtown. Make sure you make your way to that corner and go in and experience some of this food. I think it would be a shame if other people know more about the stuff that New Haven offers than the people who live in New Haven. At some point, the world will know about these Sol de Cuba products. And whenever I take them, they want more of them, right? The product line. They want to know how they can get more mojo, more mohai. I'm like, look, people, it does exist, but I'm looking forward to the world knowing more about it. And I think it would be a shame and disgrace for us in New Haven to never have tried it until it shows up in a supermarket when it's been accessible to us for 20 years. And like I said, the food itself is phenomenal. And I, make your way in there. And people saw, one of the concerns before COVID was every time I went by, it was crowded. It's like, so can I actually get a seat in here? And now we know there are to-go options, right? There are all kinds of ways that you can access Sol de Cuba food. You can order online and pick up and enjoy it. And I think a lot of people do that. Make your way into a happy hour. See it for yourself. See it for yourself. In other words, stop walking by and go on in and see what we're talking about.
All right, Dr. Behrman, you heard Dr. Behrman. New Haven, don't you walk by Sol de Cuba no more. You come on, you step on in Sol de Cuba. You will have an awesome good time. A few weeks ago, we went into collaboration and we hosted a community social with family, relatives, educators, principals, Board of Education, a lot of community involvement. I'm thinking, I don't know if Dr. Behrman and Dr. McKay, I think before you two get real busy, because Dr. Behrman, you'll be going back to work soon. Yeah, school will be opening soon. I think I'm going back too. I think I'm going to try it again another year. If God say the same. Maybe we can host another community involvement. Maybe we can do something else before it gets too chilly outside, before it gets too busy, host another community event. I think somebody going to show up. That's just a higher power revelation I got this morning downtown New Haven, sitting in Sol de Cuba. I smell these oxtails already. I think I'm going to have to get me some before I leave this place today. I'm just so elated. I'm so happy and humbled that Tom Ficklin thought enough of little old me to step in for him. We're celebrating Sol de Cuba's 20th anniversary, 20 years. And the best, I do believe, is yet to come. I know we're going to be closing out soon. Dr. McKay, do you have anything else you want to add to that about the community enhancement? Thank you, Dr. Behrman. You just know how to rip it apart and put it back together again. My God. Dr. McKay?
Yeah, so what I was thinking about as I was sitting here was a way to acknowledge the contribution to the community. And I'm always, coming up with some ideas that may work. So we want to set up a day where we can, and I'm sure Sean will be able to do this, where we can individually honor Jesus with a community service award of a higher degree. And so as I was sitting here and taking care of a few things over here to the left and to the right, I figured I would work on getting him a medal from our president of the United States of America. And so we're going to set up a day and time to present that right at the restaurant in New Haven. So we want everyone to be prepared to hear that announcement. Just as I've honored others in that capacity, it's time for you to be honored in such a capacity as well.
That is beautiful. I caught the chills, New Haven, when I heard that. Presenting him with that community service award. He's always giving. I know that myself and Dr. Jonathan Behrman and Janet Brown Clayton, we was recipients back on May 5th, 2024 of the President Biden's presidential award and trophies and necklaces and letters and all that kind of stuff. I'm still humble and cheerful about that. It's nice to be thought about. He is so deserving. Not too many people can hold it together for 2 decades. That is a milestone, in particularly down here on Crown Street in New Haven, Connecticut, where sometimes things can be very, very expensive business-wise. You entrepreneurs know more about that than I, so it can be very expensive, I heard, down here. But even through COVID, hard trials and tribulations, he's still kicking. He's still trying to keep it moving. He's still trying to make sure people eat. He's still trying to invest. He's opened a business up in Florida. He's really has gone far and beyond. And personally, I like that word personal because he has assisted many people on a personal level that people have no clue what he's done. Because that's just the person's spirit that he has. Sometimes people don't have to know about what somebody else does, but he's been a blessing. I know personally to myself as well and to everyone on this line. And we thank him for what he's done, for what he's doing, and for what he's going to do. We salute him for 20 years and 20 more. Don't stop here. Go higher, as high as you can go. Dr. McKay said this morning, elevation. So go as high as you can. And we're downtown New Haven, 20th anniversary of Soul de Cuba, stepping in for 103.5 FM, my friend Tom Ficklin. We're so grateful to all of you who have joined this morning. Mike, do you have anything else you want to say before Jesus closes us out? Mr. Mike, are you still with us?
I'm here. Where would I go?
Yeah,
This is exactly where I want to be, right here celebrating with you guys. And Dr. McKay, that was beautiful. That's quite an honor. And I certainly, as a person who grew up in and around and working in New Haven, I would definitely agree with you that is noteworthy and totally appropriate to honor Jesus in that way. New Haven is a place where there's so many layers of things going on, not only because of Yale and then the local community, but the melting pot that it is of different communities that have come in and mixed, but the arts. We have such a thriving art scene going on. And New Haven is like this quirky place where you could find yourself. You could go out one night and find yourself in a spot meeting people you never thought you'd be around and getting excited and having, your soul kind of enlivened by the experience. But a lot of times those layers don't have an opportunity to kind of mix. And one of the cool things about and really valuable things about Sol de Cuba is that we would have so many nights where you'd have like a cardiac surgeon sitting there with like some towny young guys that are just trying to find their way and figure out what they're doing. We'd have physicists talking with artists and you know, we could just sit down and relax and kind of dissolve this separation between us and just have conversations. So as a space, Sol de Cuba is maybe it is easy to walk by and not notice, but if you do find it and you can really get yourself in there and absorb, there's really a infinite amount of possibilities there. And I think it's very special to have those spots around, and grateful to have it in our city. Thanks, Jesus.
Yes. All right, we're with Jesus Spiritual. He is celebrating 20 years downtown New Haven, Connecticut. Mr. Jesus, what is on your mind? What Jesus reflect on years of service, sitting with the ancestors this morning. You begin to reflect on 20 years of humility, trying to get it popping, a wonderful business, helping others, hiring people, trying to help out somebody. What do you ponder over? What do you like to see? Even though you have come 20 years, what would you like to see happen that did not happen yet? Oh my.
Oh my. Well, listen, let me just say blessings, blessings, blessings. I'm so honored you all coming together and speaking these really high and loving words to me. Nobody could ask for more than this. Mr. Hardy, you have pulled out a great miracle here this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Dr. McKay. Thank you, Dr. Berriman. Thank you, Dequan. What else could I ask for? If anyone listening and viewing this cannot connect to this love, if they can't understand it, it's okay. We're going to keep it moving, because this is the love that I've been searching for. This was that joy that after that near-death experience, I came to find, and I have found it here in this community in New Haven, in this blessed corner on the High and Crown corner. How fortunate, in front of this incredible university, in the heart of this incredible city with these beautiful people. How blessed am I? So, and representing this history of my ancestors who contributed and participated in Cuba's independence so that Cuba could be Cuba. And they did this in the 1800s. And it's a story that has been suppressed, and is in this space gives me a chance to showcase it. It's a space that gives us a chance to showcase the interconnectivity between the West African foods and traditions with the American and the modern and Christian traditions as well, so that people can choose to be who we want to be, you know, and just find regardless, no matter what, you know. So this is what we're doing. I want to continue doing it. If your community says, yes, Jesus, you have to stay, well, I'm staying. And here, come on over here and pick up a bottle of malt, okay? We've got our Molo here for you, all natural, garlic, onion, citrus, and vinegar. Please come over here and celebrate with us. Taste the foods, taste the connections, find, you know, things about yourself that you would never even imagine, just by way of considering the journey of my path and my ancestors. We're here to help and to share. Thank you. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you all very much. Thank you, community. Thank you, New Haven. We're January 5th, 2005. We'll have a great celebration here. But in the coming months, we'll continue to share the story and continue to invite you all in. And please invite me to your house too. I'm ready for you. You know, I'd love to experience and get to know people more intimately here in New Haven and throughout the state. And I invite you as well to come down to Tampa and let me give you a tour of the historic district. Velo has a nonstop flight 3-4 times a week. It's really very, very reliable, reasonable price. Please do that. Thank you very, very much. And let's find ways that we can grow together. All right. Please help me to get this brand and take it across the planet. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed ourselves today live. Zoom, W103.5 AM.
Can't hear you.
Excited about being here today. I'm excited about being a part of this. I'm humbled that Tom Ficklin, he always asks me from time to time to step in. And so decided to do my own topic, which I thought would be very, very important. And I'm so humbled to my dearest people online this morning. That means a lot to me. And I'm sure I mean a lot to them. And so I'm grateful and I'm humbled to be here with Soul to Cuba. It is a blessing. And what we make happen for others, the higher power God will make happen for us. So we have to not always be selfish about ourselves, but it's an act of helping someone else and being a blessing to others. And that's how our doors remain open and more doors will come open. So New Haven, Connecticut, you have heard the report. Stop down here to Soul to Cuba, 283 Crown Street in the city of New Haven, Connecticut, downtown New Haven. It is on and popping down here. Once again, we're glad that you was a part of this celebration, Jesus. We congratulate you once again. I'm very gospel minded this morning, so I think about the late king of gospel, Dr. James Cleveland, where when he picked up the pen and wrote that song, "Give Me My Flowers Now, while I can live, while I can smell and see the beauty that they bring." So it's about you and saluting you. And we're grateful that we are here today. Harry, thank you once again for allowing me to step in with Tom Ficklin. We thank you for all that you always do. Once again, Soul to Cuba 20th anniversary. We hope to see you this week. Stop by Soul to Cuba. Stop by the Black Wall celebration that's taking place on the New Haven Green this Saturday from 12 to 8. We hope to see you there. Once again, Sean Hardy zooming in from Soul to Cuba Restaurant, downtown New Haven, Connecticut. New Haven, we are here. We are out here in New Haven. So you might as well come on down and join us. Woo. Yes.
As I got another rhyme, another rhythm for y'all to listen. I'm never quitting on my mission. I'ma roll with what I'm giving. Got some ambition, this new edition, filling positions. Looking at the void in myself and feeling what's missing. Better watch the way you going, better go in the right direction. In the moment you stressing, but you gon' be counting blessings. And I know that for certain. Keep on working, open curtains, haters swerving, cause they ain't ready for your final version. Whoa. I'm never gonna give up. Fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah.
You're listening to the Tom Ficklin Show on WNHH LP 103.5 FM.